Well, hello there, and welcome to Grounded Kids Assembly. I'm so glad that you're joining us today so that we can learn together. Today we're going to start with the opening with some of you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I am a peace builder. I pledge to praise people, to give up put downs, to seek wise people, to notice and speak about what I cost, to right wrongs, to help others. I will build peace at home, at school, and in my community each day.
Dear Heavenly Father, I pray for all my classmates so they would be doing good, nothing wrong with them. Please help everyone because the COVID-19 is just throwing everyone off track, and we need your blessings to help us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Now it's time for Grounded Awards, the time when we can recognize some of you for applying our school core values at home. This week, we had several emails from parents, starting with Erica Weck's mom, who said that she's been showing integrity, respect, and grit at home. She has shown integrity by putting away her toys after being done playing with them, by completing her homework and practicing violin without having to be asked, respect by being loving, caring, and helping her mom out around the kitchen with cooking, baking, and helping her wash dishes, and grit by not giving up on the transition of online learning. She's been enthusiastic even when technology doesn't go our way and when her routine has completely changed. Braden Chu. A couple weeks ago, his mom said that she was really sick and went to bed in a separate room to isolate herself from the rest of the family. She told the family to keep their distance from her, so sadly, she didn't expect to see them before bedtime. Much to her surprise, Braden appeared at the door bearing a heating pack he had heated up in the microwave for her without anyone asking him to. He tossed it to her and then proceeded to pray with her. He has always been a thoughtful boy, but this particular moment really stood out to her. His thoughtfulness and compassion and emotional intelligence made her smile despite how miserable she felt. And truthfully, she had the chills and really wanted a heating pack, but was too sick to get it for herself. Leia Chu has shown emotional intelligence by being helpful and proactive. During the recent heavy rains, her mom had to roll out the trash cans to the street in preparation for trash collection day. She chose not to use an umbrella so she could take 2 trash cans out in one trip. Leia saw that she was getting soaked, so she quickly grabbed an umbrella, ran out to her, held the umbrella high above her head to shelter her from the rain. She made 2 more trips to bring all the trash cans out, and she eagerly held the umbrella for her the whole time. This morning when Leia's mom was taking the time to work with Brayden on his schoolwork, Leia took the time to wash the dishes in the sink, dry them, and put them all away. Aurora Klump has been showing a lot of emotional intelligence. Last week, she saw that her Nana was in a lot of pain. She gently gave her a hug and a kiss and asked if she could pray with her to have relief from pain. A couple days later, Aurora's grandpa was in a lot of pain, and she comforted him and said a prayer for God to help his pain and lift him up. Aurora has been checking on her friends and church members to encourage them during the stay-at-home order. Gio Mejia has been showing a lot of grit. He's shown growth in his ability more and more to work independently and put 100% of his part to try to do his work on his own. His mom is blessed with all her boys, but he is sure standing out. Olivia Ogom is showing a lot of emotional intelligence. She is always helpful and on time with her schoolwork. She takes initiative. Samuel Ogom is showing a lot of grit. He is always determined to do his best and is helpful. Now, let's recite our 4 core values together. The first one is emotional intelligence, the power to see, understand, and impact feelings. Next, we have respect, the power to treat yourself and others like God's children. Third, we have integrity, the power to do the right thing at all times. And finally, grit, the power to never give up on your goal, even when it's tough. It's been a month now of distance learning, and by now, any of the fun feelings about not coming to school have probably worn out, because now you realize you have to attend your Zoom meetings, you have to keep up with your AR goals, you have to finish your math work without having your teacher there if you just raise your hand and ask for help. Today we're going to be talking about how to have grit when the newness and the fun of all the new activities wears off. It's really easy to have grit when you're starting a new school year, or maybe a new class like gymnastics or piano lessons, or even when you're starting a new project. But once the newness wears off, that's when it's really hard to keep going. Today we're going to be talking about how to keep going when you don't feel like it. And to do that, I'm going to be borrowing from the words of someone I knew very well as a child. In every job that must be done, there's an element of fun. You find the fun, and snap, the job's a game. And every task you undertake becomes a piece of cake, a lark, a spree. It's very plain to see that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Sorry guys. Sorry for that little detour. Back when we went to distance learning, all of us at school felt like this. How could we bring education to you and do the things that we love when we can't even see you in person? But that's when the words of Mary Poppins came to mind. Don't worry, I won't bring you back into the song. That's when I started to think about what could I do here at home to bring chapels and assemblies to life, even though it's not as great as being in person in Chan Auditorium. Might as well have a little fun while we have to be behind cameras, right? And that's the secret to having grit to get through things that aren't so fun, like jobs, chores, classes, lessons, projects, goals. You find the element of fun. Well, it's easy to find fun through things like playing games or hanging out with your friends, but it's not so easy to find the fun in some boring tasks or things that aren't super exciting to us to begin with. To do that, it takes just a little bit of creativity. Here's a little video clip that I like called Not a Box that talks about that creativity.
Not a Box by Antoinette Portes. To children everywhere sitting in a cardboard box. Why are you sitting in a box? It's not a box. What are you doing on top of that box? It's not a box. Why are you squirting a box? I said it's not a box. Now you're wearing a box? This is not a box. Are you still standing in that box? It's not. Not a box. Well, what is it then? It's my not a box.
In that book, the little rabbit found some pretty spectacular things that he could play with just using an ordinary box. And this week, my family had something similar happen. We had an Amazon package arrive that was about that gigantic, and my wife and my kids thought, let's change this box into an airplane. So they painted it, they cut out wings, they put things together with other boxes, and they created this airplane. As you might imagine, you could play with an imaginary airplane like this in the middle of your living room. And that'd be probably pretty fun for a 3.5-year-old. Or, since my green screen was already set up because it was Week of Prayer, I thought, why not make this even more fun? So I found an extra element of fun. And now you can see how with a little bit of lighting changes and a little bit of music and then a little bit of special effects, we can make this into an extraordinary event for my kids. Today I thought I'd explain to you a little bit about how a green screen works, since that kind of relates a lot to our topic today. So what happens is that actors and directors, they film videos in front of one of these green screens here. For my house, we just found a neon green fleece blanket. We hung it up on these little tripods, I think they're called. And what happens is when they go to edit the video, the computer finds all those green particles and then it replaces them with another image or another video. So actors have to be really careful not to wear anything green, because if they do, something like this could happen. Or you can just kind of play around with it and have fun with the fact that it's green like this. Did I disappear? Using a green screen takes a lot of creativity from the actors and the director's point of view, because they have to be able to see this boring green piece of cloth right here and imagine sceneries and images and things that don't really exist in the real world. Let me tell you, green screens are not very fun on their own. They're only as fun as your imagination and creativity will let them be. It's creativity that made Mary Poppins make any cleaning chore become fun. It's creativity that makes a box turn into something that's more exciting. And it's creativity that turns a green screen into something that's amazing. Well, creativity and video editing programs like iMovie. It's the same type of creativity that can be used to make not so exciting or kind of boring tasks become super fun and amazing. Volkswagen wanted to prove this, and they called it fun theory. And they did a series of experiments to try to show that even if there's a task that's more difficult or less exciting or a little more boring, they could get people to do it if they just added a little bit more fun to it. Take a look at these few clips. Isn't it amazing how people would take the extra effort to pick up a piece of trash that they dropped that didn't get into the trash bin to actually put it inside? Or people would take the stairs instead of taking the escalator. All of these things were maybe a little more inconvenient or not as fun for people to do, but because the Volkswagen people made it a little more fun, they found that people would actually do them. So what are some things that you think that you have to do, but you don't actually find them to be very fun, and you don't really feel excited or motivated to do them? Maybe wearing a mask when you leave the house? How could you make that a little bit more fun? Perhaps what some of these people did. Are you getting tired of going to Zoom meetings? Maybe you can ask your teacher if there's a way that you can make Zoom meetings a little more fun. Maybe having theme Zoom days, like every Friday everyone wears red. Or when you're reading a book together, everyone takes a picture of their favorite page of the book and makes it the background of their Zoom screen. Or maybe just doing some type of fun challenge together on Zoom, kind of like what the pastors in the conference did just recently during one of our Zoom meetings. Take a look at this.
Hey guys, I need a couple of markers for my intro. Do you guys have any?
I have one.
Oh, cool. Diana? Hey guys, can you pass it to me?
Sure. Cliff. Here, Summer.
Oh, thanks, Aaron.
Thanks.
Here
Hey,
you go.
Jeremiah.
Oh, thanks. Here, Kelly. Here it is.
Hey. Here, Deirdre. Oh, thanks.
Awesome. Pastor Maria Cat.
Yeah. Here you go, Manny.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, great. Got it.
Is motivating yourself to do your schoolwork or home schoolwork getting to be a little bit more difficult? Well, maybe talk to your parents and see if there is some type of thing that you enjoy doing, a task or some sort of treat that you really like, that if you worked on your work for a certain amount of time, you can break up your assignments into smaller chunks, and when you finish that chunk of time, you can excuse yourself and do something that's kind of fun for a little while and come back to the task. Maybe you need a change of setting. Maybe sitting at your kitchen table to do your work is just not very fun, and you need to redesign a place in your house, maybe part of your room, that's super fun, that becomes your home study nook. You can decorate it, personalize it, so you feel motivated to go to that place to do your work. Or maybe schedule a Zoom study date with one of your friends. Work it out with your parents through FaceTime or whatever medium that you can use to connect with that person. Do your math assignment together. Don't cheat and share answers. But if you have questions, you can talk to each other about it. You can just be there with somebody and kind of virtually hang out, even though you can't be there in class with them. Is your AR reading goal kind of becoming a drag? Maybe try scheduling a time to talk to your friend via FaceTime after reading your book for 30 minutes each day and talk about what you've read. They can talk about what they've read. You can have a fun time having a discussion about it. Or even better, start an AR book club. Maybe get a few of your friends that are reading in the similar reading range that you are, and pick a book that you can all read together. You read the book together each day, or maybe at the end of the week, you have a Zoom meeting or a Google Hangout together, since you all have Google email addresses now, and grab a snack, sit down with a Google Hangout with your friends, and then start talking about the book, sharing the things you liked about it, things you didn't like about it, the scary parts about it, the exciting parts about it. Just kind of talk about the book and have a little bit more fun with meeting your AR goals. Don't like doing chores at home? Well, you're not alone. Maybe while you're washing dishes, you can listen to your favorite songs, or as you're cleaning a room, you can sing along with Disney karaoke, or maybe you can make it a competition with all the members of your household so that you have a chart and everyone does chores throughout the week, and whoever does the most chores gets to win some sort of exciting prize at the end of each week. I don't know about you, but from the research of Volkswagen and from my own experience, I find myself willing to even put more time into something than I would have had to do otherwise, because I'm having fun and enjoying myself all the while. This week's Grounded Challenge is to pick a task, an assignment, a chore, a job that just has stopped being fun. Or maybe it never was really fun. Pick whatever that task is and think creatively out of the box about how you can add an element of fun to that to motivate yourself to meet that goal. Maybe you'll talk to your parents about it and say, how can I make this more fun? Or you'll chat with one of your friends about it. Or talk to your teacher and say, this is getting really boring. What can I do to make this a little more fun? Use your creativity to find a way to make the job more fun, and snap, you might be able to get the job done. Thanks for joining us here for another week of Grounded Kids Assembly, and I hope that you will have fun this week. See you again next time. Fun. You find the fun. With every job, the job's a game. With every job that must be done, there's an oh my goodness, my head's not on. in the most delightful way. That's it. That a spoon. That's gonna have to be it.